Welcome. Let's see. There's no public forum. We have the minutes were sent out for the July 20th meeting. Has everybody received one?
Yes.
Does someone like to make any changes, additions? Someone like to make a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
For a second?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Okay, John, you're up.
Okay, the first thing on my agenda is the Curlinger property in Ashburnham, which is in the watershed to Level Reservoir. We did get the drinking water supply protection grant, so we're working on, finishing that up. It's a conservation restriction on the property, so so that's a good thing. Some additional 50 acres of watershed land that will be protected. Oak Hill storage tank, which we're replacing, is being delayed just because of material cost and schedule with a company that was awarded the contract. They just, they have a lot of work and personnel issues, same as anybody. So instead of being finished this winter, it's probably going to be next June or so, or beginning of July. So they anticipate starting sometime over the winter months, February, March, April, depending on the weather. And they're actually going to be doing some work initially. They got to do some engineering work for the new tank as part of their contract. So they're going to start working on that. We actually have to drain down the storage tank completely, and they're going to go inside and do a 3D model of the tank so they can complete the engineering that they need to do for the replacement tank. So we'll be working through that. And we do have some work on other tanks that need to be completed, just some maintenance items, so they are going to get those done before the end of this calendar year, so that'll be all set. We are going to be doing over the Meeting House Gatehouse, which is the gatehouse before the regional plant, the last reservoir, basically in that chain of reservoirs in Westminster, Hubbardston, and Princeton, and a critical piece of our infrastructure. So we're also going to be doing over the Mare Meadow pump station, which pumps from Mare Meadow Reservoir, which is our largest reservoir, into Meeting House Reservoir. Thing just has old equipment. We've had some issues and it just needs to be redone with some new pumps and VFDs and things like that, just to modernize it and make sure that it's a foolproof piece of infrastructure for us. We completed some initial work on it. We will be completing the engineering. Weston Sampson will be, but we did apply for SRR funds, which we won't know till this coming winter whether we get those or not. And that was a total of $3 million that we applied for. So hopefully we get those, because there's loan forgiveness with that, just as there is with the loan that we get for the Oak Hill storage tank, 13 to 15% or so. So that would be a plus. And because they are critical components of our system, and Meeting House Gatehouse is on the list that DEP wants us to rehabilitate, we should score pretty high and hopefully get that funding. Other projects we're working are the Boulder Dive water main replacement project, which is being funded through ARPA funds. Weston Sampson is working on the engineering for that, and anticipation of going out to bid this winter and doing that project next year. So they've been doing some borings and things like that on Boulder Drive. So we're really looking at, there's not water main through all sections of Boulder Drive. We're looking at putting water main in all sections and maybe not having two mains on Main Street, seeing how we can kind of segregate that. So that would facilitate other work on Main Street down the road. So that's something that we've been looking at, and it's a goal to do, is to try to create some separation there and stuff, and maybe not have to do as much work on Main Street down the road besides abandoning Old Main. So, but it's a little tricky because there's some buildings are on the high pressure main and some are on the low pressure main. Some of the sprinkler systems are there, connected here and there. So we've really been trying to sort that all out. It makes it a little bit complex, but the downtown area is just so tricky. The work that we did on Cushing Street with some water main replacement there, we just found all kinds of stuff that we didn't know about, and connections, and where we thought it wasn't there and stuff. It's just such old infrastructure that really hasn't been mapped. So we really need to, take our time to figure out things carefully, but I think that'll be a real plus when it's all done. We also been meeting with Mass DOT about the Water Street Bridge projects, the one over the railroad tracks and the one over the Nashua. They need to do quite a bit of work to relocating our two mains that come onto the railroad tracks onto Boulder Drive, which will kind of work in with the Boulder Drive project. But the bridge abutments actually are lying right across where our mains are. So they got to relocate things, and there's going to be some funky bends and angles to get everything around there. So there's a bit of work there. And we also want to, which we'll have to pay for, is replace the two mains between the bridges, the high and low system mains between the Water Street bridge over the Nashua and the Water Street bridge over the railroad tracks. So we'd like to get everything done through that section over the Boulder Drive and then up Boulder Drive. So that would, be a tremendous plus to the city as far as downtown infrastructure, particularly once Main Street is done further down the road. So should make things pretty good for the next hopefully 50 to 100 years. We won't have to worry about that stuff too much. So. And the last thing is we're having the regional plant's now 20 plus years old, so there's some maintenance been done. We keep up with as much as possible with some bigger projects that may have to be done. So we're having Weston Sampson look at that, and we also have to look at our discharge from up there from the backwash of the filters and clarifiers. It's a new MPS permit that's going to be coming out, so we need to look at all those aspects of the regional plant. So Weston Sampson will be completing that evaluation, and also we are doing the water and sewer rate study. This will kind of go work hand in hand with that, just to see what develop a capital plan for the plant itself, and somewhat for Lula too, but regional being 10 years older is seeing a bit of wear. Functions fine, but it's something we need to look at, because there is some things that are going to have to be replaced or upgraded. One example is that we are seeing higher organic carbon in the reservoirs a lot, or I think Leominster's seen that as well, is that we may have to start treating for that, with some type of a new media in the filters, so it doesn't create disinfection byproducts afterwards to the chlorine added to the water with the organic carbon in there, which we don't remove all of, creates disinfection byproducts, and Westminster's had some troubles with it in their system. We haven't, we're hot, we're below the limits, but not as low as we'd like to be. So, and we do have some PFAS in the Meeting House Reservoir in there, so it seems to be every place, no matter where you go. It's in the rainwater too, so they say that it even falls in the rain in the North and South Poles. So us to see a couple parts per trillion isn't anything to. When I first saw it, I was like, boy, I was a little worried, but I don't like it being there. But at the same time, it's like it's in pretty much every water body in the state of Massachusetts. I don't think it's any place where there isn't. Just the world's environment with all the chemicals we use. But having said that, if there's something that we can do down the road to remove the couple parts or whatever, especially if EPA becomes more strict with the limits, that we need to look at that and hedge against it. If we're going to do some work in the plant, we want to make sure it's like, well, we can add this this media to the filter to remove the PFAS as well, in addition to the organic carbon. So it may work out, but it's something we need to look at, because the media in the filters is getting old and probably need to be replaced at some point. So, but that's just some of the stuff we're working on. There's a lot going on. So just everything's slow paced because of everybody's backlog with work, and trying to get materials and things like that. It's just a struggle every day, making sure that we have what we need. So, but I think that's it. I don't know if there's any questions on any of that at all, or.
Any questions for John? Good. Oh, good.
Just as, the upgrade there, how's the other one going at the, up here on your main plant?
That,
Do the skater and stuff, is that?
the skater, that's delayed too. We haven't even started on that stuff. So
Okay,
they've
all
done.
right, okay.
It's funny, they've installed all kinds of wiring and things like that, but as far as some of the computer parts per se, a lot of it's been back ordered. So
Okay, all right,
they've been working
okay.
through
I
that.
just
So we meet every week about it, looking at what orders are coming in, and as soon as they get enough stuff per se, they're going to start working on some of the stuff. And but that's been a
Okay.
unbelievable struggle with the
No different
the chip
than anything
shortage.
else.
Yeah, the chip shortage has just been tough. So I know that one of the contractors looks at inventories on some site or whatever for Cisco or whatever, and it's like monitoring that stuff and trying to make sure that if something comes in that they can get it or secure it. It's just tough. So, yeah, just the way things are, whether it's a vehicle or phones or, you know, our stuff, it's tough to get everything that you need, so.
The delay in the Oak Hill tank, was that something DP mandated, or is that?
Yes, yeah.
And are they going to have any problem with the delay?
We're gonna apply for an extension. It shouldn't be a problem. They've been understanding about that stuff just because of materials and things like that. Pretty much, they have those requests regularly now just because you can't get what you need to do the project, so. So I don't anticipate a problem, you know, as long as we're moving forward. The contract's all signed, we're doing the initial work, and so I don't see an issue. You know, if we just stopped everything and hadn't signed the contract or anything, then they'd have an issue. It's like, well, we're not gonna grant an extension if you're not moving, you know, you don't have any progress, but we have that all in place, so I don't anticipate. I'll actually be meeting with them next week. They're doing another sanitary survey. They're like a year behind on those, so I'll be talking to them next week about it anyway when they're out doing that. I wish they were a couple of years, but they could be delayed a couple more years if they want, but I'm sure they'll find something despite our best efforts. So hopefully it's nothing big, but.
DEP's been good about the SRF loan extensions too, if obstacles come up, so.
Yeah.
Probably bring that up with Weston and Sampson too, but, you know, make sure they're applying for whatever extensions they need for there.
Yeah.
Thanks, John. Wastewater, Mark?
Yep, I'm here. I'm up. The first thing I'd like to report is a staffing update. We did conduct interviews for the vacant plant superintendent, my old position. We held interviews back in August on the 24th and 25th. We had two senior operators at the plant who were interested in it, two qualified people. So we interviewed them, and it looks like we're going to be selecting one of them. We're just waiting for HR in order to continue with the selection process. And once that's done, after the plant superintendent's filled, then we can look at filling some of the others with this person's input. The next item I had was the West Plant repurposing project, an update on that. Just to recap on what it's looking to accomplish with this whole project, is to accept and process biosolids from the city and other regional generators in order to create renewable natural gas in a high quality soil product called Canby soil. This will use the Canby thermal hydrolysis and advanced anaerobic digestion in order to treat the biosolids. Then the biogas produced will be upgraded to pipeline quality using state-of-the-art cleaning systems, and a drying process would be used to reduce the volume and enhance the value of the soil-like solids. This project is still ongoing. It's proceeding very well. The city team met yesterday to conduct the final evaluation of the proposal that was sent to us. Next, we are scheduling a review of the price proposal, and that's scheduled, I think, within the next 2 weeks, so we can progress with this project. It's coming at a good time. With all the landfills reaching the end of their life, this will be a good fit for this area. There's a dire need in this geographic area for a place to bring the biosolids. So this looks like it came at a very good time. The next item is an update on the CSO 39 and 48 and the Clarendon Street sewer separation project that's been ongoing all summer. The trench work is looking to be all completed by September 30th in this area. And after that, the trenchless part, which is the pipe and manhole lighting, they'll be completed scheduled to be all done by March 18th of next year. And then this project will be completed, and then we can go into the big project that's coming up next construction season, which leads into my next item, the CSO 10, 32, 45, and 83. And that's the downtown area project that just got voted on by the city for the $30 million loan. Right now, the SRF application is being developed by Weston and Sampson and will be submitted to the DEP in October. And then we're looking to begin the first phase of the project, which will be CSO 10. That will be the first area we'll be tackling. That's going to take us probably through construction season 2023. And then construction season 2024, we will do the remaining CSO 32, 45, and 83. This project, this one right here, is going to greatly improve the wastewater treatment plant. This is probably the biggest impact in area that we receive infiltration from. So, you know, removing all this infiltration is going to help out the treatment plant greater than anything that we've seen so far. Any questions on those two?
Yes.
Go ahead.
What area is the CSO 10?
The CSO 10, I believe, is over at the junction of Main and River Street. Around that circle, that's where CSO 10 comes out. So I don't know if Nick has a greater understanding of what the
Yeah, it's like
area this is.
Ashburnham Hill Road, east towards basically the Prospect Street area.
Yeah.
And Prospect Street's kind of right on the line. So they're still working through design and trying to figure out whether they should include it in the CSO 10 project or kick it into the next phase, which is the other, you know, kind of moving eastward.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay. The next item is the sewer rate, sewer/water rate study. That's ongoing right now. Weston and Sampson is compiling information that we're sending them. So that's in the process. Hopefully we'll see something in the near future, but that's still ongoing. And the last item I have is the wastewater treatment plant, the East plant, has been selected by the US EPA and Mass DEP for a PFAS in wastewater study. There's been a bunch of wastewater treatment plants in Massachusetts that were selected by the study. And what they're doing is they're testing the influent, the sludge, the effluent, and also downstream from our effluent to see what the impact of PFAS is coming into a treatment plant and how it's handled in the treatment plant and what's the result. So they were supposed to start in September. They delayed it for some reason. They didn't tell me, but they're going to start that in October. And it's going to run, I think, 6 months to a year. They haven't really specified yet. We'll see where that takes us. By then, our new NEPTES permit may be out, and we'll see how that works. Any questions?
Any questions?
Nope.
Looks like we're good, Mark.
Okay.
Any other business? No other business. The next meeting is October 19th at 5 p.m. If there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all.